Hello there. So this is another introduction style video, informational video. It is related to pipe smoking, to the pipe hobby, as it were. This is going to be just some general advice after all my experimentation and everything I've learned for dealing with tongue bite. Now, the first thing I'll always recommend for dealing with tongue bite is you need to establish whether or not this is a chemical issue for you or a temperature issue for you. Because both of those things are true. You can even, there's a few people that have reported symptoms that are closer to allergies, and they're having an allergic reaction where the tongue, where their tongue is in the way. That kind of reaction against the membranes there, I would assume. But the once you've established that, the first thing I recommend to try is a filter, preferably charcoal if you're trying to fight tongue bite. The charcoal meerschaum mixes are pretty nice too. Those are decent. Um, but then short of that, there's a million reasons to not like things. There's a million reasons to like them. There are some other things you can do. One thing that's very, very accessible, but it can change the taste experience that you're having with a different blend, is to change the chemistry of what's going on in your mouth. Now that can be done in a couple of very easy ways. Now drinking water will help with dealing with the irritation from tongue bite, but it won't change the chemistry in your mouth. Something you should do that will help change the chemistry in your mouth. Just like in your stomach, the chemistry in your mouth can change to suit certain situations. Just like the pH level in your stomach will actually change to help digest certain foods faster and slower and whatnot. One of the things I recommend, chocolate. Not only will that help with high nicotine and dealing with that, it will you're going to start to secrete saliva that will help coat your tongue and sensitive bits in your mouth. That will help reduce the effect of tongue bite happening. Um, Basically, think about it uh, like a log, right? If you had a blowtorch on a log and you got the log a little wet, it's going to be harder to light on fire, but you will still be able to, versus completely drenching a log. If the log is completely saturated, you're going to have to use so much of the blowtorch to evaporate that fluid. That's kind of the idea here, is that you are coating your mouth in this in your saliva, which is closer to a mucus. It's not just watery. At least it shouldn't be. Um, Something else you can do is, unless you have, if you have an aromatic, this will be fine. At least assuming the flavors work well together. Um, Kind of sugary treats, something that you don't want, like breads, things like that, like cookies, um, dry stuff along those lines. It's not going to help you very much. It will, I mean, you're going to eat something, your palate will do some stuff, and it may help, but it won't help as much as think of things like yogurt or pudding. Um, you have, I mean, I'm a diabetic, so I crave a lot of sugar. Um, but something I wish that was available just the whole time I was having a pipe, man, some New York cheesecake with certain blends. Oh, that would be tremendous. Something you can drink. Um, Sodas are 50-50. Some people have good responses with using soda for tongue bite. I do. Other people, not so much. Some people actually have a better experience with teas. Something that changes the pH in your mouth. Water won't do that. Some people really enjoy their coffee. One thing I really, really would advise is trying some hot chocolate. Um, and if you can make it with milk, the milk fat will also help with your mouth. Um, I understand that these aren't health pieces of health advice. This is for dealing with a symptom of a hobby. This is not life advice. This is not health advice. I am not telling you how to do what to do. I'm just giving you some things to try. Now, there is aftercare, and part of the aftercare regimen that I follow, um, it's because I'm extremely susceptible to tongue bite. Apparently my palate's incredibly sensitive to temperature changes. However, we want to look at that. Something I do every night is I actually use this Hello. It's called Peace Out Plaque, but the primary reason I'm using it is it's a natural mint with aloe vera and coconut oil, and this is just tremendous. Now you'll feel when you get it in there, you'll feel it start to tingle in the areas where you've been putting smoke. Now, some people have conscious control of their tongue. Some people far less. I'm part of the far less category. My dentist hates my tongue. I have to apologize for it often after any kind of long procedure where maybe I've been put under or whatever. Um, I wake up to find my tongue hurts, and they let me know that yeah, we had to clamp it. Even with you unconscious, it was every time we'd put a tool somewhere, your tongue would be there. Um, Apparently, my tongue is like a really needy dog. So when I have a pipe in there, it's not a shock. So using this mouthwash allows me to rinse out those areas that you're not normally going to be able to scrub, and you're not going to be able to pay that much attention to throughout your normal day. I would totally be keeping that in my desk at work for my afternoon pipe, but I don't have an ethical way to have that in my office and it seem hygienic. It's quite a large bottle. I haven't found it in smaller bottles. Um, but I mean, brushing your tongue, brushing your teeth, those things will help. But the friction, if you've truly burnt your tongue with the steam and the heat, and um, that may agitate things. It's something to think about. Uh, Something else you can do is the warm saltwater rinse. Some people recommend to help with the healing process. I won't. I won't do that. Um, but yeah, those are some of the simple things you can do to help with tongue bite. Like I said, my number one thing I recommend is a filter. Balsa wood is good for removing moisture. The Meerschaum filters are also really good for that. They're better than the balsa wood, but they also carry a higher price tag. The charcoal filters, if you're having any kind of chemical reaction, which I do believe my issue is likely a side effect of the altitude where I'm at, and then my diabetes medicine. So with the charcoal filters, I see an dramatically decreased sensitivity. So that's my number one recommendation. But having something nice to sip on that's preferably creamy, but if not, something that agrees with your palate. Try different things. You may find something you never knew you liked. Um, there was one. It's a fruit sports drink. Like it has actual fruit juices in it. I tried one day. It was zero added sugar, so just the natural sugars, and that was actually quite pleasant. It had like a banana thing going on. Um, just experiment with some stuff and see if it works, and be prepared for it not to work. Um, keep a sweet treat around, because inevitably there will be episodes dealing with high nicotine. And when you're dealing with high levels of nicotine, you are going to have to do something about it. So having the chocolate around will help with tongue bite and dealing with the nicotine. Um, if you're open to trying any of the other ideas, I recommend it. I can tell you crackers don't do much. I wouldn't imagine anything super zesty is going to go well on the palate with this hobby. Things like trying to think about something that would, yeah, like a meatball sub. I don't think that would go well with a pipe. I don't think so. It could. I mean, everybody's different, but not for me. But yeah, that's that's my advice on tongue bite. I guess it is advice, guidance. I, very clearly, I'm not in a great state of mind today. But if you're fighting tongue bite, these are some things you can try. And understand that everybody's different. Everybody's internal pH is different, and it's different throughout hours of the day, not just days or months. It changes all the time, and you have to take the time to figure out you. And that's really what it comes down to. Um, is if this is something you want to do, you need to figure out how you can go about doing it, in a way that agrees with your body. I don't. I wouldn't recommend doing this and trying to get a callus on your tongue so you can just do whatever you want. Um, that sounds horrific. Please don't do that. But yeah, no, that's my 2 cents on that one. I'm gonna have some more videos coming up soon, and we'll talk to you later. Bye.